Man, look at that. Man, that is tender. That was easy to break off. Look at there. This week we're cooking a brisket on the Ugly Drum smoker. Make sure you stick around. We're going to do a fast trim up, a little shake with some amazing rub that I got in the mail, and then we're going to finish it off just the way I like it. It's sure to impress your friends and your family and your neighbors. This backyard brisket is going to blow your mind. Okay, so like I said, guys, this week we're going to be doing a backyard brisket, and we're going to start off with a good little trim job. Let me get the camera set up, and we're just going to do a fast overview of a trim. I'll make another trim video sometime very soon, so that I can get a little more detailed in it with you, and go over a little bit more fine details of what I'd like to see in a backyard or in a competition cook. Let me know which one you'd like to see. Anyways, let me get this set up, and we're going to get this thing trimmed so we can get it rubbed. Alright guys, so like I said, kind of a quick down and dirty. It's more of a backyard trim than anything. Didn't take the time quite to do a real competition trim, but I do like it to be aerodynamic, and I do like to do a little bit of practice at the same time. So while I've been trimming it up, I've been getting my fire ready, and that bed was about to go in there, so we can get that drum up to temp. And but right now I'm going to set the camera back up. We're going to get some of this Texas barbecue chapter, Texas style barbecue seasoning onto this brisket on both sides, so it can rest, get all soaked in and gummy, and then onto that drum once it's up to temp. See you in there. Alright, you cats and kittens, we've got the smoker up to temp. We're going to be sitting right around 275, 300, somewhere in there. I'd like to get a little closer to 275, and it's got a nice clean smoke coming out of it, and this brisket's been sitting and getting the old meat sweats going for about 10 minutes. It was fresh out of the fridge when I trimmed it up, so I wanted to get it a little bit closer to room temperature, obviously not room temperature, before I throw it on the pit. So it's ready to go, so I'm going to throw the camera down and stick my meat in. Okay, so the brisket is on, and we're going to let that sit on there for about 30 to 45 minutes before we open it. Do not open that smoker, let it cook if you're looking, you're not cooking. So in about 30-45 minutes, probably closer to 45, we're going to take a look at it. We're going to see how that bark's setting, we're going to see how the smoke's taken, and we're going to see and make sure that the temperature is staying consistent. So I'll see you in about 30-45 minutes. Alright guys, it's been about 45 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look inside our Ugly Drum smoker and see how our brisket's doing. So that bark looks like it's setting up really well. That Texas barbecue chapter seasoning smells absolutely amazing. All I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of water and vinegar, half and half mixture. Get it sprayed on there because I don't want it to dry out. Remember, you gotta have moist meat. Nobody likes meat that's not moist. We're gonna get that spritz down, throw the lid back on it, check on it again in another 45 minutes. Alright folks, it's been another 45 minutes, so let's jump over here on the Ugly Drum smoker and see how our meat is looking. So our meat's looking pretty good after another 45 minutes. It's been on the smoker for an hour and a half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spritz it down with our concoction of water and apple cider vinegar and keep that meat nice and moist. And then here in about 30-45 minutes, I'm going to take my Inkbird instant read thermometer. If you like it, there's a link down in the description below. You can go ahead and purchase it from my Amazon affiliate store. I'm going to check it because I have a feeling that in about 30-45 minutes, this bad boy is going to be sitting at about 160 to 170, and it's going to be time to get it wrapped up with some moisture so we can kind of get all those flavors and moisture built inside of it and really tenderize it as we finish this cook up. So I'll see you in about 30-45 minutes. Alright, let's take a look at it. It's been another 30-45 minutes and it's still a little bit moist through there, starting to dry up here on the point side, which is kind of expected, but see how it's puffed up? That's why I love cooking these at about 275. See, that meat really just puffs up there. It shrinks a little bit this way, not so much this way, but it really puffs up and makes really nice slices. So I've got my instant read Inkbird thermometer. If you like this, I suggest that you get one. This is definitely something you need. And there's a link down below in the description box so you can pick one up for yourself. About 134, 135, alright? So internal temperature of about 134, 135, which is exactly where I thought it was going to be at this point. Again, it's been on for just over, let's see, about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we're going to throw this bad boy back on. We're going to give it a little squirt of that concoction there and throw it back on for about 45 more minutes, and it's probably going to be time to wrap it up. Alright guys, so it's been exactly 3 hours since we've started our brisket on the smoker. And like I said, I think it's going to be close to 160. I'm not sure. It's pretty humid today and not very warm, so it may not be. So let's go ahead and take a look at our meat and see where we're sitting at. She's looking good with that bark. Pretty even consistency. The way we trimmed it, we got a nice concave shape there. It's not going to hold a whole lot of moisture on top, and it'll keep it from pooling and ruining our bark. So we're sitting just over 151, 153, it looks like, right in the dead middle of it. See how we're looking down here, and almost exactly the same. It is exactly the same, 153. So we are going to spray that down with a little bit of our concoction, and we're going to let this sit for another 45 minutes. And when we do, Hopefully this bark has evened out. See, it's real dark here. Hopefully it's evened out all the way around and we can get it wrapped up. Remember, I don't always wrap to temperature. I wrap to bark and to finish and to see how well I can get it evenly finished out. So we'll see you again here in about 45 minutes. Alright guys, it's been almost another 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. So this has been on here for just about 4 hours now. So let's go ahead and turn this camera around and take a look at it. Man, I'm really liking the way that bark is starting to look. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it. Guys, it's been on for just about 6 hours, and so I'm going to go ahead and check the temperature and see how it looks. About 200 there. It's nice and soft, easy to poke. You can see I've been checking it pretty consistently throughout the last hour or so of it being wrapped and cooking. So I like the way it feels, and the temperature's good, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out and let it rest here on the table for about 15-20 minutes before we slice it up. Alright guys, so we've let this thing rest and it is beautiful. You can see how that bark looks just absolutely amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it right down the middle there and see how she turned out. Man, look at that. Beautiful smoke ring. Lots of juices in there. Let me cut a slice out of this so we can test it out. It's always a good sign when it just falls over like that. So, let's go ahead and take. That was easy to break off. Look at there. That Texas barbecue chapter seasoning is delicious. It's tender, it's juicy. That pepper flavor, that smoke. So we did a quick trim up. We threw down all of our rub on it. We used the Texas barbecue chapter, and then we stuck it on the smoker. We checked it every 45 minutes or so. We spritzed it. Once it got to about 160 and that bark set in really nicely, we wrapped it. We finished it in a wrap. And then once it got probe tender around 200, 205 degrees, we pulled it, let it rest, sliced it. This is going to be something that makes your neighbors, your friends, your families absolutely jealous of and really want more. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you ring that bell, comment down below what you'd like to see us make next, and drink more water.